Hey all, JTC here, and today I bring you a very unique video. It was brought to my attention a couple of months ago that someone in my Discord server, shout out to my Discord by the way, join down with the link down in the description below, it's a great place, you should be in there, that someone actually made a fan-made 4th Sienna career, complete with new weapons, new talents, passives, and everything. So I decided I should check it out. I haven't really looked at it too much. I have kind of skimmed through it and gotten a general idea or a general gist of what the career is supposed to do and what she is supposed to be, but otherwise I have not looked too deeply into it because I saved it for this video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. This is Sienna's new 4th career, an idea, of course, but Knight of the Blazing Sun. If you want to read this opening paragraph, I'll let you pause the video and do it for time's sake. But otherwise, we're going to jump straight into skills and traits. Hit points 125. That is a good thing. That kind of like an in-between. Unchained has 150, while Pyromancer and Battle Wizard have 100, so I kind of like an in-between with 125. Inferno, cooldown 120 seconds. Sienna casts a slow-moving column of flame lasting for 2 or 3 seconds, dealing high damage inside the column and setting nearby enemies alight. Note that enemies take friendly fire damage from the column, but are not ignited. Now, I think the biggest question I would have with this ultimate is, what kind of column are you talking about? Because I can think of a different couple of things when I think of the word column. I can think of like, what that is horrible. Listen, I don't do art for a very specific reason. Undo. I can think of column, which is literally just like a rectangle that floats forward. I could think of kind of more like a sphere, or not a sphere, but like a cylinder that has less of like defined dimensions and is kind of more open, kind of like with like maybe like a wider base, and then like it goes narrower as it goes up, and then just kind of like a square. So I would wonder which one of these it would be. My assumption was that it would be number 1, since this is, I think, is what most people think of when they think of column, which is just kind of, you know, like a normal rectangle. And I think that could be interesting. It definitely would not be a horde killer in that case, because I would assume that this column is going to be quite narrow. However, I think it could actually be a very good boss killer, and Sienna is actually missing the ability to be a boss killer. We don't have a true boss killing career, and I don't count Battle Wizard because Famished Flames is stupid. Don't go in the comments and say, but GTC, we have Battle Wizard. No, fuck Famished Flames. So yeah, otherwise, if it was this kind of looks like a top hat. This looks like Doug Dimmadome's hat. I just realized. But if it's 2 or 3, I think it could actually do pretty well against hordes and bosses alike. However, I would also wonder, how high is the friendly fire damage? Because if this is, you know, like a crit javelin problem or a situation or a moonbow situation, then we could start running into some problems with too much friendly fire. Yeah, Burning Zeal, main passive, melee killing blows then overcharge based on the health of the slain enemy. Passive overcharge cooldown is 40% slower. Okay, I actually really like this. My entire thing with Vermintide is that you're supposed to be super, like, in the fight. I really don't like it when people are passive in this game, because this game punishes passiveness but rewards aggression. And this passive is a great way to reward aggression. If you want to play this character well, you have to be aggressive. I really like that. Shield of Akshi, overcharge reduces block cost by up to 30%. That's unique. That's pretty cool. Indomitable Focus, overcharge slowdown reduced by 50%. I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of works because in the opening, it's described as can be powerful at range, but mostly excels in melee. So it kind of sounds like, it kind of sounds like that they're trying to make kind of like another pyro-ish class, you know, good at kind of jack of all trades, master at none. Although it sounds like they're kind of leaning more towards into the melee with this. I don't know. I would just give them like immunity to overcharge slowdown. I guess I would have to really feel what overcharge slowdown reduced by 50. Oh, wait, did I read this wrong? Overcharge slowdown. No, okay, no, I read that right. I was like, wait, is the decay slowing down? But no, I read it right. So the slowdown you get from overcharge is reduced by 50%. So yeah. Anyway, I would have to actually play with it to see how it feels. So this might for me be at 100%, but otherwise I would have to test it. And then she can't use daggers, which is whatever. We have Cleave and Killing below temp HP, which is just Pyromancer. Cleave and Killing below temp HP, which is just Pyromancer. I do know a very easy way to fix this, though, and I'm kicking myself because I forgot to mention this in my Pyro rework video, and I'm really, really angry because it was such a good idea. Keep these talents the same because, well, right now, if you think about it, we have basically the same thing. We have melee killing blows on 3 Sienna careers with this. Killing blow, killing blow, killing blow. Easiest way to fix this, keep this the same. And y'all, just instead of killing blow, give Pyro temp HP on crit. It's such an easy change to make. She's literally the crit queen. Why doesn't she have crit temp HP? I don't know. That's the easiest way to fix it. Also, if you think about it, if you just look, none of her careers have crit temp HP, and who should have it? Pyro. But yeah, that's an easy way to fix that. Okay, so Pyromantic Pressure, ranged power level increases by 1% every second or 2% at critical overcharge, up to a maximum of 20%. Using a ranged attack consumes 5 stacks. Okay. So this is a unique talent, definitely. But the only problem... Okay, actually, no. Because I'm looking at the other ones. Let me get back to that one. Flurry of Fire spell charge speed is increased by 20%. That's good. It's not quite the same as Battle Wizard's increase. Where is it? Rechannel, because you only get 40% only once every so often, but with this new one you get 20% across the board, which I'm actually completely fine with. Solar Invocation, fully charging a spell increases its power by 20%. That's just volcanic. That's just a nerfed volcanic force. Because I was originally going to say Pyromantic Pressure seems like a worse volcanic force at its core, but Solar Invocation is just straight up a worse volcanic force. So actually, I guess Pyromantic Pressure could be good. Okay, because, yeah, Pyromantic Pressure is just ranged power level, period, end of story, while Solar Invocation is fully charging the spell only. So, actually, Pyromantic Pressure, I think, would actually be a pretty unique talent, and it would be fun to play with because you could actually work with it, and you could actually, like, plan around it. Solar Invocation, though, needs to be replaced by something else because I don't really like just repeats of talents. So I would say this should be replaced with something else, something a little more interesting. Level 15. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see this. Can I zoom in? Hopefully you guys were able to see that. Level 15, Mainstay, Bulwark, Enhanced Power. Sure, that seems fine. Do they have Mainstay, Bulwark? Bulwark, Smiter, Mainstay. I don't know. You know what? I think an easy way to fix it... Well, actually, no, she has Smiter. No, I think... Pyromancer, replace Mainstay with Assassin, and then, yeah. Yeah, I think it's another easy way to fix that, yeah. Level 20, Immovable Object, Shield of Akshi also grants damage reduction up to 15%. What does Shield of Akshi do? Let me remind myself. Shield of Akshi, Overcharge reduces block cost. Okay, so she gets, so in addition to getting extra block cost while she's overcharged, she also gets some damage reduction. Okay, that's her damage reduction talent. I guess maybe I would put that at 20%. 15 seems a little low. Maybe even 30%. I could see you doing 30% with this at like maximum overcharge, like one cast and you're going to overheat. I could see up to 30 with that. Unstoppable Force, Cleave Power increased by 50%, increases further with overcharge up to a total of 80%. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Although, for reference, I want to see what Mercenaries is. Mercenary gets an extra 33% from his passive, and then Limb Splitter is 50%. Okay, so she's basically getting a free Limb Splitter. Okay, that could be pretty cool. And then Purge Impurity increases rate of venting overcharge by 20% and reduces damage taken from venting by 40%, which is just a repeat. Which is just another, again, a nerfed version of Conduit. This should also be replaced with something unique. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of just recycled talents, and as far as I'm aware, other than the temp HP and the stagger talents, there is not a single talent in this game that is repeated across multiple careers. Every single career has completely unique talents to them, And because of that, Knight of the Blazing Sun should also have completely unique talents. So yeah, Solar Invocation and Purge Impurity should be changed to something unique. Burning Beast, damage taken from venting increased by 10%, but venting ignites and lightly staggers nearby enemies. That's really cool. Okay, so you take a little extra damage, but venting ignites and lightly staggers nearby enemies. I want to know what it means by lightly staggers, because if we're talking about the light stagger of like a rapier push that only causes like trash mobs to flinch and nothing else, this would actually be pretty bad. However, if it can actually like knock back a storm vermin and like make them stagger, and if it could knock like Skaven slaves and Chaos Fanatics on their ass and just kind of like hard stagger Marauders and Clan Rats for a little bit, Burning Beast would be really, really nice. It would basically be like a nerfed version of Repel, but I'm actually okay with it because Repel is kind of stupid. So I think that could actually work. Plus it also ignites enemies, which is a really cool effect. I could see them giving it an AoE effect like Repel has now, but instead of, like leaves shooting out around you, fire shoots out around you. That'd be cool. Bright Rampage, striking multiple enemies in one swing reduces overcharge based on the number of targets hit. Burning Zeal only applies when killing elites and specials, and its effect is reduced by 60%. What is Burning Zeal again? Melee killing blows vents. Okay. Oh. Okay, so instead of on kill, it changes it to on cleave. And it's reduced by 60%. Okay, so no. So actually, it's both on kill and on cleave, but it just nerfs the on kill. That's also really cool. Because, see, the thing that I like about a lot of these talents is that it changes the way that you play the career. Something that I really, really like about these about talents in general is talents that allow you to play the career in a different way. So I really enjoy these talents. I'm trying to think of any kind of example. Off the top of my head, I know it's a bad example because no one likes Sister of the Thornwalls, but the Sister of the Thornwalls are actually like really good example of this and why I love them in theory. Ironbark Thicket is supposed to be kind of like a tanky, like you're supposed to play her a little more tanky. You're supposed to be a little more defensive with your ult. Bloodrazor Thicket, Black Venom Thicket allows you to be defensive and offensive with your ult. You can choose. You can either shove a Black Venom Thicket in the middle of a horde and wait for the Black Venom the Thicket to explode and have them have the extra damage on them, and you can just slap them down. Or you can just use it as a normal wall and use it defensively. And then Bloodrazor Thicket is full offensive. I really like talents like these that allow you to choose different ways to play the class. So talents like this is really, really cool. And then Flaming Finesse. Oh, and I should specify why, because if you're using a weapon that's going to get you a lot of kills, like Crowbell or something, you would not want to use Bright Rampage. But if you're using like Flaming Sword, or this would be insane on Flaming Sword. This actually might be OP. This actually might be OP with Flaming Sword. That actually, that might need to be changed. Flaming Sword might make that OP. I kind of changed my mind. Flaming Finesse. Timed blocks reduce overcharge and powerfully ignite the attacking enemy. I think this would actually be cooler if instead of reducing overcharge, it powerfully ignited the attacking enemy and knocked them back. Like, I think it'd be really cool to parry a Chaos Warrior, set him alight, and then knock him on his ass like a Chaos Warrior. Or like a Foot Knight charge. I think that would be cooler, personally. And then level 30, Fuel for the Fire. Each enemy killed by Inferno increases the duration of Inferno by 0.1 seconds up to a maximum of 2 additional seconds. So from like 2 to 4 or from 3 to 5. I could definitely see that if you wanted to be a horde clearer with it, but I don't know. I think the problem with it is that, once more, we're back to the problem of which column is it. If it's column 1, I don't think it'd be very useful. If it's column 3, it'd be incredibly useful. If it's column 2, it would also be useful since the base would be more flared out. Blaze of Glory. Inferno leaves behind flames that linger for 5 seconds. Trash. Wrath of the Sun. Inferno clears all overcharge and can be triggered whilst overheating, inflicting more damage the more overcharge it clears. Okay. So, realistically, if you wanted to get the most damage with Wrath of the Sun, you would drink a Strength Pot, you would purposefully overcharge yourself and then ult towards a boss. That would be really cool. The only thing that I would be concerned about would be if we're going to have like an old Shade situation on our hands or an old Huntsman, in which you could literally one-shot. Back in the day, before Winds of Magic and before like the big balance betas, you could actually just straight up one-shot bosses with Shade. And I think with Huntsman as well. And even if you have to stack a bunch of things to get it to work, I would be worried that this talent would allow for the one-shotting of bosses. I think an easy fix to Wrath of the Sun would be, instead of inflicting more damage, it becomes bigger. So like with Wrath of the Sun, this would become like this. This would become like this, and then this would become like this. You know? So it would have just like a straight up bigger AoE, and it'd be able to catch a lot more in its path. I guess I'll go back to Blaze of Glory because I just kind of glossed over it. I don't know. It depends on how much damage those flames do, because I'm not going to lie, my thought immediately jumped to Battle Wizard Teleport, and those flames are just bad. Those are not good at all. But actually, if it's more like Coruscation Flames, those could be useful. So, Blaze of Glory, it could be useful, could be bad. It depends on how powerful the flames are. And then we have two melee weapons. I'm kind of sad that there are no ranged weapons, but I'm still interested to see what the melee weapons are. Longsword, one of the two weapons raised alongside the career, similar to Kruber's Executioner Sword and Bretonnian Longsword, in that its light attacks are wide sweeps for crowd control, and its heavy attacks deal powerful single-target damage with overhead swings. Excuse me. Makes the best use of the Unstoppable Force talent compared to any other weapon in Sienna's arsenal. What is Unstoppable Force? Cleave power increased by 50%. Okay. The longsword can only be equipped by Knight of the Blazing Sun and Unchained. Okay, so let's see. It might just be a copy of Kruber's Executioner Sword, but we'll see. Blocking in a line of Yuri's stamina count. Stamina 6. Okay, that's a lot. Dodge count 4. That's also a lot. Light attacks. Okay, so it's just the same. Okay, so this is the same as Executioner Sword, just left, right, without the third diagonal cleave for some reason that Executioner Sword has. Heavy attacks is a right to left angled overhead swing. So, I don't know. So 1, 2, 3. So it would just be right to left for the light attacks. Heavy attacks would be right to left angled overhead swing. So kind of like this, I'm guessing, and then kind of like this. Okay, that's also pretty cool. And then the third is an overhead swing. It is an overhead swing. So this looks kind of like an inverse of Two-Handed Sword, because its light attacks are left, or are top right, or top, yeah, am I right? Hold up, it's 3 in the morning. I'm tired. I mean, 1 in the morning. I can't count either. Right to left angled. Okay, so yeah, so Two-Handed Sword is, the light attacks is a right to left angled overhead swing and a left to right angled overhead swing. And then the heavy attacks are kind of more horizontal sweeps, but not too much. And then the push attack is an overhead swing. Alternatively, this weapon can just be a clone of the Bretonnian Longsword, but without the ability to block when charging a heavy attack. I don't like just straight up clone weapons. I do like this idea. However, I would prefer if the longsword were to be kind of like a balance or a mix between the Two-Handed Sword and the Executioner Sword. I would like it if its push attack was really, really powerful, and if its heavy attacks were like really, really slow but also really, really powerful. But if the light attacks were a little bit more like Two-Handed Sword, and that they were like really, really good at cleaving through enemies, but not necessarily incredibly powerful or having, you know, a super high headshot multiplier. I think that would be pretty cool. Sword and Flaming Shield, the second of the weapons released alongside the career. An ordinary sword with a flaming magically enchanted shield emblazoned with the Sun of Myrmidia provides the only shielded option for Sienna. Has a versatile mix of crowd control light attacks and targeted heavy attacks for elite slaying. Like the Bretonnian Sword and Shield, block, pushing, and then attacking performs another shield bash immediately. Any attack with a shield, whether that be a block push or a shield bash light, does little damage but staggers and ignites enemies. and can only be used on this career. Okay, 120 degrees, stamina 10, dodge count 3 is typical for a shield. Okay, so light attacks. I need to draw this out. So light attack combo is right to left horizontal sweep. Upper left to lower right swing. And then a bash. A heavy attack is an overhead swing followed by a thrust. Followed by an upper left to lower right swing. And then the push attack is thrust shield bash. Something that I would really hope with the push attack, with the shield bash, is that the... Oh, actually, hold up. Okay, so thrust, let me just finish this before I start talking. Thrust into shield bash, push then attack as shield bash. Okay. So I would personally be afraid of this weapon just becoming a straight up clone. Hi, JTC from the future here. I had to stop the recording and really think about what I was trying to say because I was getting way too ahead of myself. With this weapon, the Flaming Shield, I would be worried that it would turn out similar to Bretonnian Sword and Shield, and that it only had use for one specific thing, and that's its Rapid Bash, and the rest of its attacks are, like, completely useless. I could see the heavy attack actually being pretty good, depending on how fast it comes out, because the entire problem with Bretonnian Sword and Shield is that the attacks come out really, really slow and don't have a lot of damage to begin with, and when you mix those two, it just becomes really, really bad. So if the heavy attack, because the heavy attack starts with an overhead swing and then goes into a thrust, if these two come out really, really fast, then it could actually be a really good single target damage weapon. And I think if the light attacks, because it's a flaming... Oh, no, it's Sword and Flaming Shield. I thought it was Flaming Sword and Shield. I don't know if the light attacks would be good. I could definitely see you block canceling rapidly the light attack, similar to how you block cancel the light attack, the light one of the Mason Shield, because it's just a right to left cleave, and then you block cancel it, and you just do that over and over again. I could see you block canceling the first light attack rapidly to get Horde clear, and then just spamming these two things to get damage. And actually, I think that could be good. But it just depends on how powerful the actual attacks are and how powerful the cleave is on the lights. Otherwise, it might be a good weapon, yeah. So yeah, I think this is actually a really, really cool career. I think she has a lot of potential to be super unique and add a lot to the game. So I don't remember if I said who made this, but Sulfuric Glue made this, so good job to you, dude, for making a really, really cool career. This makes me super excited for what Fatshark has in store for Sienna, and hopefully it's going to be cool. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. See you all next time.